100% Chance of Wine, sponsored by The Lodge at Columbia Point.
So let's hop over and talk more about your wine. What are some of the wines that you first initially started off with?
Well, we started off with the common ones, basically Merlot, Syrah, Malbec, and some Cabernet.
Sauvignon Blanc.
We also did Sauvignon Blanc, both a dry and a late harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, with the exception of the Sauvignon Blanc, the idea was make them to age. So it's interesting, we do a lot of blend trials and tastings with friends, and we'll get a bunch of people around the picnic table and try, 4 or 5 different variations. And, people really enjoy doing that. Some of them I listen to.
It's a hard job. It's harder than people think, because you have to have I don't do it, because once I've tasted 3 wines, that's it.
You're done.
But basically, what I try to do, and the people who I listen to, sort of have a mouth that is a lot more sensitive than everyone's. So what you've got to do with the young wine is, say these were 3 different versions of the 2010 Merlot, and we're just trying to see which one's the best. What I want is something that you can tell from what's in your mouth. It's got the right balance of acids, of sugars, of fruit, of tannins, and to some extent alcohol, that it's not going to just taste good today, but it's got some potential in there that tells your mouth, this is going to be around for a while, and just keep on getting better for X number of years.
Right.
So that's kind of the approach that I took. So right now, if you came out tasting, depending on what we're pouring on a given day, I've got the 2008 Merlot on the table, the 2009 Syrah, the 2009 Malbec, and they're just kind of hitting their stride. The 09 Syrah last year got double platinum from Wine Press, and one of their comments was, we don't see many wines with this kind of age on them getting to this level in the competition.
If you had to pick one of your favorites, what would that be?
Oh, geez.
That's like your favorite dog, right?
Yeah. It really depends entirely on what are we doing. Sitting out here in the sun on a 100-degree day, we're going for rosé. If I'm having a rack of ribs, it's probably going to be Syrah. A steak? More likely a Merlot or a Carmenere. And a lot of it is going to be dependent on your palate, my palate, your palate, Joyce's palate. Whoever is tasting on a given day. Way too many people get, to my mind, wrapped up with what the tradition says you should be doing. How long you should be holding wines, what you should be pairing them with. If you like it, drink it.
Yep. We had somebody in last week who she doesn't drink a lot of wine, and she doesn't particularly like red wine, so we got to the red wine, and she asked so politely, so what do you do if you actually don't really like the taste of the wine?
And I said,
you don't drink it.
But you don't do that inside.
You're outside, so you're able to do that.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of outside, you guys have just a gorgeous property here for people to come and taste, looking out the Yakima River.
Thank you. COVID was sort of a blessing in that it gave us an opportunity to expand our vision, expand our abilities for visitors. And I think that people have really embraced this because they get to sit down, they get to relax, they get to look at the world around them rather than me.
Anything that you see on the horizon for you? You're just going to continue to make your wine?
Well, we're actually scaling it back some. You think about it. We've got wines that right now we're pouring that are 10 years old, over 10 years old. If I kept on with that practice, that bow wave just keeps getting farther and farther out when I retire completely. So we actually stopped making the more traditional wines in 2012. We're still making port, we're still making rosé, and we've still got lots of wine in storage. Just waiting for people
The
to come
reds are
find them.
waiting for their time still, so it's not closing down. We've got the wine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's cheer. I know you don't have
Ah.
any more wine left. You got to
Yeah,
pour some more
I
in
can
there.
fix that.
And this is the rosé. We call it Dark Star because it's, as you can tell, I call it our Washington Pinot.
That's perfect. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.